I like getting, I like when other people look at my abstract art, they see different things.
Right, and you find, do you find that people, that more people identify with that kind of, because it's very basic, it's on an emotional level, and so I would think that people would, you know, it would appeal to people along the, across the,
this particular piece right here that I did, I was showing, after I did it, it's identical to the Russian art of Kandinsky.
Kandinsky, yeah.
Yes.
Kandinsky?
And she'd never seen his art before.
No.
Really?
Yeah. And then we found one of his images, and she couldn't believe it. She said, wow, that does look a bit like his, but there's a difference.
There's a difference in Kandinsky's. He has 3 levels of shades, I have 4.
Yeah.
You have 4.
But it's interesting to see.
So in a way, you're more advanced than him. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to have to get back to that, but let me get down through a couple more of these. We talked about, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the artisans and how involved they are physically. And when we talked about Mr. Ehresmann, and that's one person. Can you give us a couple of more examples about the physicality or maybe the restrictions? Or
we have one artist who, if she gets excited, she kind of loses control. She's also in a wheelchair. She uses an electronic talking device, and we can also tell by her eyes how she's moving her eyes and her expressions. But if she gets really excited, she just kind of, she can't control her body. So she actually has to work at relaxing herself, and will actually kind of rub her shoulders a little bit.
I've heard it described as clutching.
Yeah.
It's a muscle clutch. Where
you
just can't.
So you can't do anything. Yeah, you would have no control at all. So she actually has to relax herself, which is really difficult, especially when you're excited about doing this painting, you know. And Sharon works with her really closely to help her relax and you know, pick colors and the woman I'm talking about she has lavender and everything. Sharon has a way of pulling out each people that, you know, can't speak or communicating to her different ways. She pulls out each person's interest, each person's style, so you can almost see, you can tell, oh, this one was done by Chris Teach or this one was done by Shelley, because it's their style. You know? Now, Becky has all different kinds of styles, but some of the other ones are very specific. Yeah,
we're going to, and I have to go real quick, and so we're going to talk about those as soon as we come back, okay? Okay. We're going to thank some people real quick, and we're going to be right back. Thanks.
The Urbana Leader is sponsored in part by the Depot Coffee House, a gathering place for locals, a resting place for bicyclists, and a haven for history and railroad buffs. Located 6 blocks west of Monument Square on Miami Street in Urbana, the coffee house can be found in a refurbished 1890s train station on the Simon Kenton Bike Trail. Free Wi-Fi, fresh baked goods, local artwork, and good conversation can be found every day of the week at The Depot from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Welcome back to Urbana Leader, and again we're here with Jamie Porter and Becky Whetstone, and I got it right this time. Thank you. Yeah. Give me a picture. All right. And I want to get through some of it because there's some other stuff that I really want to talk to, and because after talking to you guys, I could have a list this long of questions I would like to ask them, but I want to get through these real so that we can have get to some of these other ones that I've kind of thought up. Now, how does the Art on Main support artists with disabilities who attend Longview Enrichment and Employment Center? Well, that was a long question.
Yes. When they are, we have art classes running at various times throughout the day. Okay. And when we have an advanced art class that Sharon teaches, that Becky's in, and then we have some other classes. And when Sharon sees some art that she's like, oh, this is really something. Jamie, come and look at this, and we'll kind of look at it. And if the artist is interested and the parents are okay with it, I'll take the image back to another area and take a digital image. We have a real nice camera. We take a digital image of that artwork and I turn it into cards and prints. There's one of the prints.
One of the prints, right?
Yeah, and then the cards we have, Christmas cards are a little bigger, and then the other greeting cards.
Christmas cards, and you'll be able to order these on the new website,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So people will be able to go and get custom cards, basically.
Yes, we do any kind of greeting, and it's no extra charge for a black greeting. And they can choose their font, they can choose the wording, whatever they like.
Wow, this is terrific.
And on the back it has the photographs of the artists, so you can see their pictures.
Oh, really? Okay.
This I think is a Bonnie Sprinkle. And
Bonnie Sprinkle, cherry blossoms, in acrylic. So they're not just using watercolors, or we're not talking finger paint and watercolor.
No.
We're talking about all kinds of mediums.
about fine art, yeah, and all types of mediums. They tend to like the acrylic because it dries fairly quickly, and most of them kind of want to see, I don't know if Becky's this way, Becky's a little more patient, but some of them want to see something a little more quickly.
Right.
And Sharon has to work with a lot of them to be patient and keep working, and you'll get it done, but take your time.
So what do you like to work with?
Like Jamie Porter said before, I like to work with the small ceramic tiles.
Ceramic tiles?
Ceramic tiles
And
acrylic.
And I'm an artist that's willing to try new things.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes.
And what was this done in?
That was done in the
Acrylic.
Yeah.
Acrylics?
Yeah.
It's easy to layer acrylics too. There's it'll dry quickly,
Right.
and then you can do layer, and that's a lot of layering.
Yeah, that's a lot of layering. It's very complex, and I like it. You can tell that it's done there's a complexity to it, but even though at first glance it looks simple, but if you really look at it,
Yes.
and if you have the opportunity, apparently this one's been sold, right? And how much did it sell for?
You remember?
You don't have to tell me because the IRS might be watching. No, I'm just kidding. Now, how much did it sell for?
$300.
$300, right? And this is a print, and it goes for
$20.
And you will sign all the prints? So they get a signed print.
And they're numbered.
And they're numbered?
Yes.
All right.
And speaking of trying new things, I think it was Rack-and-Roll 2. I did on tile, a big
tiles.
tile.
Yeah.
You know, I've done that. I've done that. And you know what I did was I went to some place, and it was like a tile factory or whatever it was, and they have all these little tiles that they were throwing away. They don't use anymore. And I put them in a bag and I broke them all up, and I started putting them together.
Yeah.
And I found that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But nothing like what you do. I mean, I think mine was like arbitrarily placed on top of a table. You know, I made a tabletop out of it. But so let me move right along here so I don't get lost. What kind of events are at Art on Main is involved with, and where are you selling this art in what locations?
Exhibit-wise, we exhibit the originals all over the place. Very Special Arts Ohio does exhibits with us through Accessible Expressions Ohio, and that's the exhibit that Sean won Best in Show. We do that every year, and they've been doing this for as long as I can remember, many years. And that's a juried show that we send.
What's a juried show?
That means they have judges that actually judge the artwork, so not all of it makes it. So 400 pieces go in, maybe 200 make it, maybe less. So that's one show that we do every year, and those pieces travel all over Ohio for the whole year.
Okay.
And then we do Art Affair in the Square. We're always there, downtown Urbana, every year since they started. We sell originals and prints and cards there. The Champaign County Arts Council does exhibits for us. Like we have one right now at the county building in recognition of MRDD Awareness Month. We have about, I think, maybe 30 pieces out there.
Which is where I generally get to see it because I'm always going down there. So
Yeah.
that's where I first started seeing it.